Shabbat Shalom. Let me begin by saying to you here in the sanctuary, to those at home, I admire your commitment to Jewish life. When Yom Kippur falls on a Thursday, as it did this year, we find that there is a bit of a dip to our Kabbalat Shabbat services and the attendance. And this is not entirely unlike a secular New Year, where fitness centers and workout facilities are bustling, heavily used in the month of January, and maybe less so come February 1. And so you are the mighty committed who, having reached the spiritual heights of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, have joined us again for worship and communal gathering. For Shabbat always comes without fail. The consistency of this holy time is grounding throughout history, and especially now in this pandemic world. I am reminded of the words of Rabbi David Polish, published in the Reform movement's newest Siddur, Mishkan Tefillah. That's actually not true. It's not the newest Siddur, but it's one that's widely used. And in it, Rabbi Polish reflects, "On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a world quiet this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide." On this Shabbat, we can put down the heaviness of the days of awe and pick up a less heavy but equally as holy time of rest and restoration. We read this week from Parshat Hazinu, which concludes with a really dramatic scene. God instructs Moses to begin ascending Mount Nebo and prepare for his own death. And God instructs Moses that he may view the land from the distance of the mountaintop, but that he shall not enter it. I've always been a bit troubled by this biblical scene. Moses knew that he was not to enter the land before this moment, but why the vision? Why on the mountaintop? I believe there are a few ways we can interpret this interaction. First, and perhaps the least kind, is that we could read this as if God is taunting Moses with a seemingly torturous sight of gazing upon this promised land that he would never know. I don't love that interpretation. Perhaps God is giving Moses the gift of solace. After all these years of traveling through the desert with a largely ungrateful, largely kvetchy Israelite people, God is giving Moses an opportunity to gaze upon a realized covenantal land just before his death. And perhaps the scene is meant to remind us, to reinforce for us, that Moses' role as our leader was not ever really tied to the land itself, but rather it was that of preparation, to prepare the people for life in the land. And in this way, Moses is not so much looking upon a failed attempt, but rather he's truly seeing that his work has come to fruition. God is saying, "Here is the land, Moses. You did it. You made it. Your people are home. You can rest in peace." And surely God could have simply told this to Moses. However, God wants Moses to experience this for himself. This could be seen as Torah's recognition that an experiential Judaism has a deep impact, perhaps deeper than simply hearing. Even when that source of hearing is God's self. If Moses had any anger towards God for this interaction, it is not captured in the text. However, Parshat Hazinu is a drama in which Moses sings his last song. It is a moment that is both solemn and deeply, deeply intense. Cantor Evan Kant teaches on the beauty of Moses' final address being a song. Writing, on the last day of his life, Moses sings a song to the gathered Israelites. For 31 chapters in Deuteronomy, Moses has told the Israelites how to behave, what God expects from them, and how to lead a life filled with blessings and absent of curses. And with his final breaths, Moses teaches with song. And Cantor Kant exclaims, "This is exceptional." Almost all of the Torah text, 5,852 verses, most of the Torah is written in prose style. There are only 2 other times do we see the text indicate singing: the Song of the Sea in the book of Exodus and the Song of the Well in the book of Numbers. And it is true that we often find that we resonate more deeply with words or ideas when they're put through creative outlets. Perhaps Moses sang his penultimate words to better reverberate in the hearts and souls and minds of the assembled Israelites and beyond to the coming generations. He is heightening the emotional impact of his words. And let's think back to the recent Yom Kippur experience. What stands out? The soul-stirring Kol Nidre played on the cello, sung by the cantor. The power of standing before an open ark and singing Avinu Malkeinu. The physical feeling of thirst and hunger. That final shofar blast. The musical, the experiential moments of the day have a deep spiritual impact. And before Moses climbs Mount Nebo, his song creates a dramatic, unforgettable moment for his people. And as we prepare for Sukkot, we are reminded again of the importance of the physicality of Jewish life. Sukkot emphasizes humility and the fragility of life. And for 7 days, we physically relocate from our permanent shelters, our permanent residences, to the temporary, the humble sukkah, which sheltered the people of Israel during this exodus. The primary focus of this holiday is not engaging Judaism through a Siddur, not a text study Judaism, both of which are excellent endeavors for our inquisitive minds, but rather we now feel a shift towards an active Judaism, actively building Sukkot, actively shaking the lulav, smelling the etrog, literally shaking up all of our senses by moving us out of our norm and into a unique and sacred space. And so during Sukkot, Holy Blossom has many opportunities to experience Judaism in active and engaging ways. On Sunday, our school-age children will be decorating the sukkah for the fall festival. And for more information about that, you can reach out to our principal, Lisa Eisenbaumel, or Rabbi Helfman. There will also be opportunities to join together in the sukkah for blessings following our daily shacharit services all throughout the Chag. And you can even register to join our Erev Sukkot service on Monday evening, which will be held in and around the sukkah itself at an appropriate distance, outdoors with masks, so you can sign up for that online. And of course, we will join together for our Yom Tov services on the first day of Sukkot and conclude with blessings in the sukkah as well. So we are looking forward to joining you. We're looking forward to this Zman Simchantenu, this time of our rejoicing, this time of our happiness. Wishing everyone a happy and healthy new year, a restful and restorative Shabbat, a joyful Chag Sameach in the coming days. Shabbat Shalom.